We are looking at Penelope's butterfly above the water. Commentary by Coach Chris. We're going to play this first time through at full speed just so we can watch the rhythm of her stroke. Now, one thing I noticed, and you can kind of see that triple wiggle of the body mid-stroke, I feel like she's trying to get too many kicks in, almost like a triple kick fly. So the legs aren't quite linked with the body. Right now, she's overkicking her butterfly, trying to get more propulsion out of the legs and not quite timing it correctly. So let's watch this at a slower speed and take a look at Penny's stroke. This is going to be quarter speed, so we'll see what's going on. She's got a nice high body position. That's the first thing that stands out. One thing that you can notice if you watch this, if you watch her sweep, let's take a look at those hands. You can see those hands are palm down. Okay, she's not supporting her arm with the right shoulder muscles. So with these hands here, come on. These hands here, you can see how they're palm down as she sweeps. Let's keep an eye on that. Let's frame back a little bit so we can see. So the problem with this position is it's really unnatural for your arm. Her shoulder's going to be really twisted, and she's going to be supporting the weight of those hands and arms as they sweep across with her chest muscles. It's going to be the front side of the shoulder that holds the arm up. And if you look at that, there's not a whole lot of muscles. The reason she wants to turn the pinky up and thumb down for this sweep is because she wants to support the arm with the back muscles. And I mean the muscles are all around the shoulder blade. And I've done this drill with her before, and it's something we're going to keep doing in practice. If you stick a pencil or stick your hand right between her shoulder blades, tell her to squeeze your hand with her shoulder blades. That's the muscle cradle that should be supporting the butterfly arms. And so we've done this a few times on deck, and we're going to keep doing it because getting this alignment right, getting these pinkies up and using those muscles will give her butterfly a lot more endurance. Because right now, those little muscles on the front of the shoulder and at the top of the chest, they just aren't built for holding the whole weight of the arm and swinging it around for, you know, if she's doing a 50 fly for about 20 fast strokes, if she's doing a 100 fly for about 40. The muscles just can't do that kind of work the way she's swimming the butterfly. So she's going to break down and get really fatigued as she goes. Nice high body position. You can see as she's going. We're going to zoom back out. So I'm really happy with that body position. You can see her hips pop up every kick. That's what I look for. If the hips are up high and we're riding up high, that's the body position we want for that butterfly. And you can still see that middle wiggle that's happening. That's too many kicks. And we'll get a better view of that underwater, so I'm not going to beat that to death. Turns really nice above water, staying low, bringing that hand behind the head. So she's done a lot of good work on that turn. This is probably the best group I've had as far as those sorts of fundamentals with turns and right correct positioning of the hands and feet. So I haven't had to go over that ground too much, which is really nice because we've been able to work on some of these more advanced stuff and start to introduce more advanced drills for these kids to perfect some of this stuff. So right there is a perfect example of her stroke when it gets tired. Let's go back because this is important. This is what we're working on. And now we're doing a lot of drills, single-double drill, single-arm drill. But the single-double, 2-2-2, we're doing those drills a lot to focus on the timing of the breath. So let's watch this real closely as she comes up. See how her head breaks the surface with her hands? That is typical, but incorrect. Okay, she's getting her head up way too late in that stroke, and so she now has no time to take that breath And so her head's going to stay up and her hands are going to get in front of her. So she's trying to get her head down, but at this point it's too late. If your head's still up at this point, there's no physical way you can get your head under your arms and press the chest and get the kick driving it like you want for the butterfly. And you can kind of see how deep her knees are pointed now. That's all related to that stroke right there. And I see that stroke a lot from her in practice, especially when she gets fatigued. It's just that late lift of the head. This is the biggest thing we're trying to fix with her stroke, and we're going to keep working on it. We'll have all season to work on it because this is one of those fundamentals of fly that even good flyers break down. This breaks down in even the good flyers. So, she's got a solid fly for some of her fundamentals. She's grabbing good water, and we'll talk about how she can grab that better underwater. But when I'm looking at this is the key. If we can fix this one little piece, a lot of the other pieces fall in line, and she'll have a much easier time. But what we're looking for, and we talk about this all the time on deck, is we'll go into the, okay, that is the breaststroke. Okay, let's move back. We're going to frame back just a little bit because I want this to be really clear as we go into it. Okay, so when we're going into that breath stroke, at the very first sweep part of the sweep, her head needs to break the surface for that breath. So this first part of the sweep here, when she's sweeping out and around, that's where her head needs to break the surface. And then on the rest of it, this push, that's where she's actually taking her breath, if she's doing it right. So that by the time her hands come out, her breath is almost done. And as they start coming forward, she's not only finished her breath, but she's starting to drive that head down. And her head should be all the way in the water at this point as those arms come over. And right now, her head's starting to take the breath, which is why she's getting stuck. And she's also rushing the breath, which causes you to kind of hyperventilate. So there's all these factors that this causes a lot of stress during a race when her head starts doing that. And it can have severe effects on how fast she can go. Add that to her arm positioning, and she's got a fly that she can muster some power out of for short distances, but it will break down and she will get extremely fatigued as she continues to do it. And so we're trying to clean all that up, get it a little more efficient, get that head timing right so that she can get that head down and she can sweep the arms in a proper position using the right muscle group so that she can last in that butterfly a whole lot longer. Let's take a look underwater and talk about her kick and try and see what we can do to increase the power of her pull.